KFSR and CMAC present the Central Valley Ledger, a public affairs program featuring stories from all over the Central Valley with Sevag Tateosian, 90.7 KFSR.
I'm your host, Sevag Tateosian. Welcome to the beautiful downtown Fresno studios of the Community Media Access Collaborative, Fresno Clovis. We're right by the newly opened Fulton Street in downtown Fresno. In case you're wondering, November is No Shave November, so you might see some men in your life that are growing their beards like me. So it's for men's health this month in November. Our guest this week is Keri Bennitt. She's with Noble Credit Union. Did I get that right?
Absolutely right.
The reason why I question myself is because you had a different name not too long ago, correct?
Correct. May 1st of this year, we announced the change from Fresno County Federal Credit Union to Noble Credit Union.
So before we talk a little bit about the credit union, let's talk a little bit about you. And the reason I also bring this up is like 10 years ago or 12 years ago, I met you at one of your grand openings of the store on Ashland Avenue. Is that store still there?
Yes, it's on Ashland and Blythe. It's still there.
Yeah, so it's nice to see you again.
You too.
Tell us about yourself. How did you end up working for the credit union?
Well, I've been at the credit union now for 16 and a half years and absolutely love it. I have fallen in love with the industry, with the organization. I could not be in a better place. So anybody looking for a place to work, the credit union is an awesome place to work. But I found it, actually I worked in shopping center marketing beforehand. And it came to a point where I thought, I need something different. I want to do something new. And I just opened up the paper to find out what was available. That's how jobs were found, is you open up the paper to see what it's available. And the listing was there for a marketing director for the credit union at that time. And I'll be honest with you, I did not know a lot about what credit unions were. So I did some research and found out that really they're built to help each other. So they're member owned. It's a group of people who come together and say, I want to help someone else be financially better off, and we can help each other do the same thing. So I really liked that concept. Submitted my application, resume interviewed, 16 and a half years later, here I am.
Congratulations on that. I love those stories. You know, here you are just looking through the paper, and there it is. And
there it was.
You've been there 16 years.
And so I am very lucky, very lucky.
You brought up earlier, you know, about people who, if they're looking for a job, check a credit union. So is it like a financial institution, like a bank? Because a lot of people out there know about banks, and, you know, they know about credit unions as well, but more so I would say the banks. So you operate like a bank, don't you?
Well, we look very similar in the products that we offer. So sure, we will both offer, banks and credit unions offer savings, checking, Visa, auto, home improvements. A lot of people don't know that credit unions do mortgages and second mortgages. So on the surface, we look like very similar, but the philosophies and the principles of how the organizations run are completely different. And so the credit union is based on all of the members. We have 85,000 members.
Wait. How many members do you have?
85,000.
85,000. That's interesting.
85,000. And all of them are equal owners of the organization. In a bank, that isn't necessarily the case. So that's really kind of the big difference, is really the philosophy and the structure behind each organization and how they're run. But on the outside, it looks like we have a lot of the same products.
So you were Fresno County Federal Credit Union before, correct? Now you're Noble. Talk about the switch, why it happened.
So let's see, start from the beginning here, right? So in 1941, the credit union was formed by, again, a group of people, and they were employees of the county of Fresno. There were 11 people who came together and said, we want to help other fellow county of Fresno employees be better off financially and have a different financial opportunities than the mainstream banks. So the county formed the group, and 76 years later, we've changed. So a couple of decades ago, the credit union, the board of directors, opened the doors a bit more beyond just County of Fresno employees, where we have now 350 some odd businesses and organizations where their employees and members can join. So As we've done that, we've been able to grow to 85,000 employees. It's hard to do on one single entity, so by opening the doors, that's allowed us to grow. And so a couple decades later, we're in 2017, and we just knew that the organization was made up of so many people that came from across all areas of the county into Madera County. We have a location in Madera County. That we wanted a name that reflected truly the entire membership base, and also to give us the opportunity to grow outside and continue to grow like we are in Madera, and who knows where our future will take us. But the name of Fresno County Federal Credit Union had some limitations that the community assumed were there.
Makes sense.
So we wanted to break down those limitations. We wanted to also, it's a big question you ask, so we wanted to also pick a name that reflected who the organization is, so people get a glimpse as to who they're going to do business with. The name Noble was selected. Some of the synonyms are honor, decency, kindness. These are what we've always done for our members. These were the founding principles that our County of Fresno employees 76 years ago wanted to be able to demonstrate in the credit union. We're continuing to do that in the name Noble.
Very impressive. Congratulations on the growth. So for the record, I became a member of your credit union several months ago. So was at a car lot, bought a car, wanted a rate that, was this. So it came back and they said, congratulations, Noble Credit Union is your financial institution. So I will make the payments like I would, like it's a normal bank, correct? I have the time the payment is due, make the payment. Is there any difference?
Not in the function of the loan, but I would assume in the rate and the total amount you're going to pay if you had gone to other financial institutions. So I'm assuming that because you did the loan with us, that's the best rate that you could get, or it fit your monthly payment structure. So in that aspect, it's pretty much the same. But when you start to now look into the credit union as a member, as to all of the other options that you have available to you and how we can help save you money over other options in the marketplace, you're going to find you're going to do more than the auto loan with us.
But then how do you make your money? So obviously you have to make your money so that the organization continues to grow and continues to expand. So you're making money on loan, but not so much that you could be making.
Well, you could always charge more, but we don't want to do that. That's the whole purpose of credit unions, is there are places you can go that do charge more, but you work hard for your money. You want to get the most out of that money. We're a not-for-profit organization as well, and that's a big difference between other organizations, is being a not-for-profit, we just want to make enough to make sure that we're financially sound and able to provide the products and services as technology needs are changing, the consumer's desires for how they do business with us. We need to just make enough to continue the operations of the business, continue to offer what the members want, and at the prices and the rates that is fair. I mean, that's the whole thing, is it's fair. We're not in it for the bottom line. We're not in it to make a lot of money. That's not what we're focused on. We're focused on making sure the member has what they need. Of course, we need to operate in order to continue to do that, and that's it.
So I had no idea. I'd never done business with a credit union until my car loan. So now that I'm a member of your organization. Is that common? Are you seeing people maybe have never heard of you and then they get this loan and all of a sudden, they get involved in your organization?
Well, that is one way that you can become a member, but again, you still have to be eligible to be a member. So that's where the 350 businesses and organizations that we have already partnered with, that the dealerships are then able to connect you with and identify you with as maybe your place of employment or an organization like a chamber that you might be involved in, to say you are eligible to even be a member of the credit union, and now we can do this loan for you. So that is one of the ways that we do get members as well.
So today I made my payment. I walked into
Nice to hear.
Walked into the branch because it's right next to where I work. So I could use technology. I could do other ways, but
Sure.
I decided I'd take my walk anyway. Let me go in there and make my payment that way. But I heard you're moving. So the downtown branch of Noble Credit Union is moving. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so it was announced a couple months ago that the County of Fresno purchased the building, and right now we're in a 2-story building. It's just larger than we need. We don't need the top floor, let alone the lobby area is larger than we need as well. So it really can fit the County of Fresno departments that are going to move into it way better than we can be utilizing it. So we actually found another place on 2440 Tulare, which is in the Civic Center area. Beautiful location.
Not too far from the library.
Not too far from the library, just 2 blocks away from one of the big county facilities as well. So we're still in the heart of downtown, the downtown we love, still serving our County of Fresno family and everybody else who, again, we have businesses around downtown as well that their employees are eligible to join. So continue to serve our members in the downtown area. And it's a facility that has never been, the space itself has never been utilized.
Wow.
So we're building that out. So we're in construction phase right now. So it'll take several more months. We're looking at the beginning, first quarter of 2018 before we open that one.
But the bottom line is you're moving from where you are. You're
Yes.
not going to be there much longer. So, and I'll come visit the new location as well.
We hope
Sounds
you
like
do. We
a-
like to see our members. We like to see you using technology, but we like to see our members, and our members like to come in.
On technology, so you have all the things that a typical financial institution would have, like online payments and stuff like that?
Yes, we have had online banking, online bill pay, all of that's free. We have a mobile app. We actually just this month introduced, I don't know if you've heard of a new thing for your credit cards, where you can turn your credit card on or off from your phone.
Oh, no.
To protect you?
Well, tell us about that.
So that's the coolest thing that we have to offer right now. And so what that is, it's called Card Valet. And you have the ability to, you load your card information into the app, and you can decide to turn your card on or off. So when you're not using it, if it's in the off mode, if someone by chance got a hold of the physical card, or you lost it somewhere, or they duplicated the number, you know, all the stuff that goes on in the world today, they can't use it. It's an off mode.
That's a
They
great
cannot
technology.
use it. The other thing is I often set mine to on but alerts. So every single time I use my card, boom, I get a text within 10 seconds of a pending transaction, and then it clears. So I know if I get a text alert that a transaction hit and it wasn't me, boom, into the app, shut the card off, they can no longer do it. Because what do thieves do? They get a card that they've stolen, a purse or whatever, swipe, 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 swipe until technology
Right.
catches up to shut them down. One transaction shut down. It's amazing.
That's
I love
great
it.
technology.
I love it.
It sounds like technology is getting to a position where it's going to help consumers. I mean, years ago, I would have never thought that this technology would be around, correct?
I think there's a lot of technology now we never thought of, and God knows what's going to happen in the next 5 or 10 years that we can't even dream of right now. But it really is helping empower in our case, the member, so the consumer, really does help empower the consumer to control what's going on, because the bad guys are getting smarter and smarter and smarter, and the more that we can manage our own finances, the more we can understand and control, the better we're going to be. And who wants to deal with all the fraud and everything that goes on a card and changing a card and all that stuff? This can stop to minimize that. I mean, I love it. So technology can definitely be our friend. When it doesn't work instantly, it's not so much our friend, but it definitely can help us out. We do check imaging as well. So to do deposits with that, you take a picture of you. Have you ever done that?
No, I have not.
You've never done that?
I have not done that either.
Gosh.
And
I need to show you a few things.
And the thing is, I love technology, but I find myself for banking not really up to date with the technology.
Well, why?
That's a good question. And the tables have turned. Now you're
There you
interviewing
go.
me. Great. Well, I don't know why, but eventually I will make my way towards that check imaging and deposit and stuff like that.
Well, when we're done, I'm going to show you what all stuff you are missing and how easy it is.
So tell us a little bit about the governance of the credit union. I imagine you have a board of directors, or how is the structure of the organization?
So we have a board of directors who are all volunteer board of directors, and we have 7 of them, and they govern the overall organization. Then we have a management team that really runs the day-to-day business, which I'm part of, and the focus for us is to make sure that our members get the best products, the best service, the best interactions, the best experience, because they work hard. Like I said, they work hard for their money. They deserve this. And so that's all that we're charged with doing, is making sure that we stay financially sound so we can be here in 76 more years.
So that you can offer products
so
at
that we
low
can keep
interest
doing
rates.
this, yeah. So, but we are really owned by all the 85,000 members, like I said. So they all have voting privileges at the time where opportunities to vote arise, which are things like changing a board of directors or things like that. And so everybody has the opportunity to have a say, which I think is really a great opportunity.
Let's shift gears and talk about credit building.
Sure.
Do you have anything to help consumers with credit building? And the second part of the question is, how important is credit building?
Oh my
That
goodness.
was a softball.
It's huge. You know, we don't always have the cash on hand to be able to pay for a car. And so we need someone to help us out in doing that. And having the better credit you have, the higher credit score you're going to have, the lower rate you're going to pay. And what that actually translates into is the less interest you're going to pay. So if your car was $20,000, do you want to actually pay over the life of that loan $30,000 with interest or $25,000 with interest? So you want to have a higher credit score so that you can get that lower rate to ultimately pay as little as possible for that loan. So do we have options for credit building? We definitely work with our members. They come in, and that's why, like I said, we're very focused on our members. So we do want to make sure that we talk to our members, help them understand how they can build their credit. We also offer member seminars. We do seminars 9, 10 months out of the year. They're on a variety of topics. January is getting your finances in order, of course. So we offer the member seminars.
I have to interrupt you. Getting your finances together after Christmas and holiday, it makes total sense.
Yes, is beyond important. That is the time. And, you know, it's a little scary when you see what comes in the mailbox, but you have to regroup and not lose faith and get ready for the coming year. So, so we do several different things. There's tools on our website, article, things like that.
So before I worked for a government agency, I worked for the county, I always thought credit unions, you had to be a county employee or state employee or government employee, or you couldn't get in the door of credit unions, and not just your credit union, any credit union. Is there truth to that? I mean, are there credit unions out there that will take you on if you don't work for the county or work for a government entity?
Well, I think a lot of the misconception comes from when a lot of credit unions were founded, ours including, we were founded by County of Fresno employees to serve the County of Fresno employees. There's other credit unions that were founded to serve federal employees. There were other credit unions founded to serve specific groups. So that's how they started, and I think that mentality in the consumers just stayed. But no, just like us, almost every credit union here locally have opened their doors to be able to invite more people, to be able to serve more people, but you still do have to be eligible. So that's why we have the 350 businesses and organizations to make people eligible.
But it sounds like a lot of people are eligible. I mean,
a lot of people are.
Yeah, it sounds like the door is pretty wide open for people to get in.
They are, they don't know it. That's the thing. That's a big difference. They are, they don't know it, and they need to find out.
So let's talk about safety. You know, in the downturn in the economy, people were lined up, pulling their money out of financial institutions, not realizing that if they bank and their bank is insured through the FDIC or the Office of Comptroller, their money is safe. Credit unions. Is our money safe in credit unions?
Yes. It's just not FDIC, it's NCUA, which is National Credit Union Administration.
But does it function the same way? As far as safety?
As far as the safety for the members, yes. Same type of safety net. There's a cap as to certain deposit dollar amount, but FDIC has the same thing. So yeah, works the same. Your funds are insured.
And as a credit union, I always thought, again, this is me, I always thought.
This is great. No, this is great. I want to dispel all the myths.
I always thought that there's a certain limit of money that I could deposit with your entity. Is there truth to that? I mean, can you take deposits that are, you know, upwards to millions of dollars?
Well, we can take them, but like you say, what's insured, and so it's a matter of organizing the account in such a way so that all of the funds can be insured. So it can be done. $100 million, now that I don't know. I haven't had that come around, so I don't know about that one. But for the most part, the needs that our members have had, we've been able to do. And then position it in such a way that all of it's still insured.
So this may be a tough question, but where do you see the organization in 10 years? I mean, do you think that you are going to continue to grow?
Yes, we have been one of the fortunate credit unions that we have for the last several years seen anywhere between 8 and 13% growth in membership every year. Most credit unions can't say that. We can continue this as long as we stay focused on doing what's right for the member. And again, back to the new name, Noble. That's our commitment and that's our promise. And we have to live up to that every single day. And it's not anything we take lightly. And as long as we stay focused on that, we will be here in 10 years.
So what are some of the things you're doing out in the community? You mentioned the seminars.
Oh, goodness.
As you can tell, it's softballs today. But you mentioned that you do seminars for your members and stuff like that. But name a few other things that you're doing out in the community that you want people to know about. Obviously, in marketing, you want the community to know about everything you're doing, but name a few things.
Well, we always try and participate in large events, but you know what? We do a lot of stuff that we don't shout out loud. So we take all of our financial classes and we go to organizations that may have 10 people attending it, may have 200 people attending it. Maybe one of our affiliations may not be. So, you know, one of our teachers just went out and taught veterans about finance, one of the topics that they wanted.
Very timely with Veterans Day.
So we just go all over the place. We've been in different counties doing classes. So, you know, that's kind of something that we're out there doing all the time that we just don't shout. But that's the credit union, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to help educate. We're supposed to help people understand their finances. We never want anybody to get into a contract for an auto or anything that they don't understand what they're getting into. So we're out there in a lot of different organizations around town, teaching a variety of classes, getting out of debt. How do you balance a checkbook? Which it's not called checkbook probably that much anymore, but balance your account. And do you have enough money? Are you living within your means? And you know, so we're out there teaching a lot of these classes, and that's kind of one of our big focuses. We get involved in a lot of community events as well, but our focus is really to educate, and that's what we're here to do.
Advice for the next generation, the youth.
Oh,
I have small
on what
kids.
topic?
I have small kids, and I would love to see my kids conservative in spending, budgeting, not going out buying things they don't need, being like their parents.
Oh, well,
What
that's a big commitment that all the parents are doing it right even, but yeah.
what advice do you have as far as finances for the youth?
Spend, save, share.
Spend, save, share. Explain.
Yep. So this is what I do. At home, I'll admit, I'm not the best 100% at doing it, but my kids understand the concept of spending, saving, and sharing. So we initially started with 3 jars and we labeled them, and they can do a craft on it or whatever. And when they do chores, they understand the premise of putting some money that they get to spend free for all, whatever they want to spend on, and mom doesn't say what they can spend it on, as long as it's within reason and appropriate. And then they have to put some money in the save, because there's things in the future that we may need to be thinking about. And then also the idea of giving back to the community. So, you know, it might be a little, it might be a lot. I've never tied a certain percentage of their chore money to either any of those. That's up to them to decide, because let's face it, it's up to all of us as adults to decide what percentage we're going to divvy out. So it at least starts giving them the basic concept that life evolves more than them, which is hard for them to catch on in general. But yeah, so spend, save, share.
Tell us how, we're running out of time this week on the program. Walk us through your website. What can someone find if they go to Noble Credit Union website?
Definitely the first thing to do if they're not a member, go to the Join Us page to find out what entity they can affiliate with.
Oh, that's all up there. So
that's all up there.
Okay.
Yep, and it's all alphabetized, so it makes it really easy to find. Also, I'd look to find where the closest location is. We have 8 of them from Madera to Selma, so there's bound to be one not far from where they are. It's important that they know where that location is, and I think they should check out not only our rates, but also our electronic capabilities, how convenient we have become.
And you mentioned some of that earlier with, you mentioned it again, some of the technological advances.
Well, with the check deposit, which a lot of people don't believe that we would have, because a lot of people think that credit unions just don't have the things that big banks have, and it's just not true. So check out some of these things. And we're always bringing on new electronic features like the card valet. So those are my actual two favorites. We have a budgeting program within our website and within online banking to help people budget and understand where their money is going. So, you know, we really do have a lot to offer that I just think that people just assume credit unions don't have, and it's just not true.
So as New Year's is coming, I will make it my New Year's resolution that I'm going to use this picture where you take a picture of the check and you deposit it that way. I'm going to use that. That's one of my New Year's resolutions.
It's awesome.
Keri, thank you so much for coming. We're out of time this week, but we'd love to have you back when the downtown location moves to its new facility so you could tell us all the exciting stuff happening there.
You got it. Thanks
for coming.
Thank you.
That's all for this edition of the Central Valley Ledger. Our guest has been Keri Bennitt with Noble Credit Union, formerly Fresno County Federal Credit Union. Right. I got that name right because there's a song, there's a very catchy song that I always seem to get in the back of my mind, you know, Fresno County Federal Credit Union.
And I hope Noble's just as catchy.
Thank you to the volunteer crew that made this production and every production possible. We couldn't do this without them in the studio making us look and sound good. We recorded out of the beautiful downtown Fresno studios of the Community Media Access Collaborative, Fresno Clovis. Thank you to those who listened to us on 90.7 FM, KFSR Fresno, and to those who watched this broadcast on Xfinity, Comcast 93, and AT&T Uverse 99. We hope you enjoyed the program this week. Remember, November, No Shave November, Movember this month. If you see people who are growing facial hair, ask them why they're doing it. It's to promote men's health. Thank you for watching and listening to this broadcast. Tune in next week to a new edition.
KFSR and CMAC present the Central Valley Ledger every Sunday morning at 11:30. For a complete program schedule, visit kfsr.org.